Alliance is doing it. They're in the comfort zone with the Wisp. They have great ganks. I'm gonna go with Alliance.
Who's winning this?
I think Doom is going to be too much of a struggle in the mid game. You have very strong meta picks on Alliance, but I'll just go with Monkey Fighters first game.
Yeah, beginner's luck. Beginner's luck. Okay, I actually feel like Alliance got a pretty good lineup. I think they're gonna do it. We'll find out though what our commentators think. It is time for our first game of the day: Alliance versus Monkey Freedom Fighters with OD Pixel and Draskell.
Indeed, thank you very much, Shiva. It is going to be game one of Alliance versus Monkey Freedom Fighters coming up right around the corner with myself, OD Pixel, and Draskell. We just got a quick pause at the moment, but that'll give us a little bit of time to talk about the draft. Andy, what are your thoughts?
I actually kind of like Monkey Freedom Fighters. Their laning phase seems very strong. We already talked about the Ancient Apparition counter to Doom.
Yes.
And I also think that during the mid game, just having the amplify damage on a Doom or a Tiny, it helps you kind of chop through those high armor heroes, or high health heroes, excuse me, that otherwise you would not really have a good way of fighting after a Doom comes out. But say you throw out a Doom onto somebody like Razor, it's not really that great, because if you already throw out Static Link, you already have Eye of the Storm running, you're still draining damage, you can still auto attack. Most of the things that you're trying to do in a team fight aren't really disabled by being Doomed, you're just taking a little bit extra damage. So I think that they do have a lot of ways to deal with the Doom. Yeah, he should be okay.
Nah, he's cool, and he can obviously scale the orb. There's a snowball. Yapsor's giving him a bit of a rundown here, forcing him back. But yeah, as you were saying, Andy, with the Doom.
Yeah, I just think that MFF do have enough ways to deal with this mid game of Doom, but it is also true, as Wahani was saying, is that it's very easy for them to get off to a good start, and looks like my nuts are gonna get out of here unscathed.
Yeah, they were looking to go, but again, another target that's going to be hard to catch out at this point with the Tether available. And it looks like Monkey Freedom Fighters have managed to create a bit of space here, so they'll be able to get themselves to the top ring, but at the same time, looks like Alliance will be able to secure themselves the bottom. So, the lanes here, of course, from Monkey Freedom Fighters. The fact that we're going to be, by the looks of it, seeing Sing Sing being on the top lane, and they're going to put Demon on the Slardar down on the bottom lane.
I think they were probably just trying to go for as much lane pressure as they could. If you're in MFF's position, you don't really want to put yourself in a spot where Alliance has good lanes. Because look at their mid game, right? They have relocate ganks, they got Doom, they got Coil. Their mid game is actually very, very strong. So you want to put yourself in the best possible situation to stop them from getting to that point. And I feel like having a Ryze playing Razor mid, even against this combo, it shouldn't be too awful for him. If he needs a rotation from a support, he can have maybe Yapsor come over. But
Kindness says thanks for that one. There was the toss back onto him there, but he's stolen a fair bit of damage. I guess this is one thing you got to be careful about, tossing him back when he's stealing the damage, because he's just going to turn around towards the eye and give him a few slaps.
Yeah, you can actually die in this lane if you're not careful, because if the stun toss combination doesn't kill, you're looking at pretty much just spirit damage. And if, you know, a Ryze gets level 3, level 5, and gets more points than a Static Link, you could potentially die if you're not careful. Yapsor just being annoying here. He does have Snowball.
I was going to say, Minus needs to be very careful. He's going to put the Tether first, but that's going to be the stun. Oh, it won't quite catch him, yeah. The fulfill will come out from a Rise, but didn't quite clip the Ire. But yeah, you got to be careful with this Tusk making the rotations around the map, which I guess that's the nice thing about Monkey Freedom Fighters draft, the fact that you can kind of leave Slardar on his own on the bottom. Top lane, you know, the AA supporting up Sing Sing on the ambush should be enough for the most part of it, so Tusk can be very active around the map, and we can see at the moment, still just hanging around the mid lane here, looking to put pressure onto the Tiny Ire.
He's still on level 1.
He's going to go in again with the plasma field as well. That's going to be your first blood there onto Nuts. Now Loader's going to be forced back there, so, well, the power of the Tusk there, Andy.
Yeah, just keeping himself not on enough HP. He actually had 2 bottle charges. In those types of situations, you always need to make sure that you're topped off, because if you're able to be bursted, Tusk is one of the best initiators in the business in the early game, just being able to get in. So you always have to keep yourself high HP if you want to avoid that situation from happening again.
Oh. There's a bit of a fight around the rune here. Demon gets the crush, takes the rune, gets himself out. They're going to try and give him the odd little rundown. Won't be able to get the tether slow onto him, but the right clicks bring him fairly low. He should be alright. Ake hasn't quite got enough mana here for another blast. But nonetheless, he will force Demon right back. Demon's got a south though, 5 tangos as well, so he should be able to quickly make it back to the lane. So at the moment, in terms of CS, it looks pretty even across the board. Just the fact that mid laner Ryze is having a great time.
Yeah, he's doing very well for himself. And the more I think about it, the more I look at the top lane, and I'm just going, they didn't want to have to fight against the Lich Doom. They just wanted to completely avoid it because they didn't want to commit that many resources to stopping those 2 heroes from getting farm, right? So you put 3 heroes down there. You have YapzOr on the Tusk, and then you have Way2's AA, and obviously you have Sing on the Ember. Okay, that's great, but then you can't pressure mid. You don't have that threat of a roaming Tusk who can try to set up kills, and I think that takes away from a lot of MFF's early game. So I think this is just a solution to be like, all right, well, our Slardar was always meant to be kind of sacrificed anyway. We're only picking him for the stun, we're picking him for the amp and mid.
They want to try and go on load, and this time they might just get it. The plasma field bringing him low. The right click's not quite enough. Arise has got a haste. He's going to try and dive this one, and he's going to find the kill. Should be able to get himself out as well. The tower will bring him low, but he's going to be all right. And this mid lane is not working out for Alliance at all in the first 3 minutes. Bottom lane, crushed onto Bulldog, and now Demon turns to run. Bulldog's going to try and chase it down here with the Scorched Earth. He's a little bit quicker, and of course, Demon taking that increased bit of damage here from the sprint.
He's actually just still chasing
yeah.
him. Slardar is faster with low on sprint,
yes,
but not by much. So it was like I was saying, that kill right there, that doesn't happen if MFF want to do like some defensive trialing with the Ember, because again, the Lich and the Doom just demand so much attention if you want to actually hold them down that I think that they don't even feel it's worth it. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
And look at this top lane farm, 23 for 5 on Beaver Knight, and just 9 for 1 on S4 at the moment. He's having a horrible time up in this top lane.
Well, he's not getting a lot in the way of CS, but he is still getting a lot of experience. If you compare him to what the Slardar is actually getting, he's getting more than Demon. And Demon is also going for a little bit of rune control, so yeah, you can argue that he's spending less time actually in the lane itself, but all that really matters at this point is S4 getting 6, making sure that middle lane doesn't do too terribly from here on out. I mean, Loda's not farming great, but you can rely on him with the damage.
They're going to go on S4 here. There will be the phase shift though. He continues to walk himself away, but it was, of course, they wanted to go on him as soon as he came out with the aggressive orb. Doesn't matter though, they don't have the trap here for him, and now S4, he's got the orb again. He might try and turn this one round. Moving in onto YapzOr, doesn't want to jump for it though. Sing on the Ember Spirit is there along with the AA, so bring him low, but nicely played there by S4, avoiding what could have been a potentially lethal rotation there coming out from Monkey Freedom Fighters.
Yeah, it even gets a lot of damage out too, so forcing YapzOr back for the time being. And the time the Tusk isn't on the map, it's actually a little bit of help for Alliance because their middle lane still, yeah, sure, they're stacking up, but Loda's even forced to do it himself right now as Minuts is making his way back towards face, so maybe not everything going exactly how they wanted it to on the side of Alliance, but again, we talked about their mid-game potential. It's crazy good. Arise could be in trouble.
And look for the toss back, and they will be able to find the blast there from Ake as well. They'll chase him down, and they will get themselves the first kill on the board there. YapzOr coming in with the shards, catches out Nuts, but going with the snowball on his own, especially when there are 3 heroes on the side of Alliance. So that's a bit of rotation. Maybe they can find YapzOr as well. They're moving in. He is going to put himself in the snowball straight across the creeps. Now turns to run, but the avalanche is there with a toss to follow up. There's going to be a double kill for Loda in the mid lane, and Alliance certainly needed that after the start that Tiny Isle were having.
I kind of wonder why he stuck around for so long. Like, he just saw 3 heroes. I imagine he was probably a little bit greedy, seeing the creep wave and be like, ah, yeah, I'll just try to soak a bit, and then gets too close and ends up paying for it. But that does kind of bring Loda right back to where he wants to be, getting those 2 kills. You can pretty much count a kill in the early game as like getting 4 CS, maybe 5. Yeah. So now if you just add that to what he has already, then those 2 kills kind of put him back up to par with the highest farmers.
Of course, one thing we're seeing now is Ake being a lot more active across the map. At the earlier stages, pretty much won that lane with Bulldog in an incredible amount. You're seeing 34 for 15 on the Doom compared to 12 for 0 on Jimmy's Slardar. It's a massive difference there. Gonna be the change there onto S4, but Ake is there with a backup. You have got, of course, AA still hanging around. But yeah, this Doom is going to be pretty terrifying here on good old Henrik on the bottom.
The thing about it is, MFF knew this going in. Like, they saw the way the lane shaped up, and they made it a note to not come down here and contest. They said, Jimmy, you're on your own. Get whatever experience you can, which, I mean, he's level 5, 7 minutes, and that's against a lane that for a good amount of time had a Lich in it as well, who's constantly denying experience from you. So I'd say that he's gotten a pretty decent amount, tried to contest some runes. Again, this is a hero who is picked solely for amplify damage. You put that on the Tiny, you put it on the Doom, you just have a link on him or something like that from Arise, and you just right-click him down. BKB does not help against that. It is a very good way to deal with those heroes during the mid-game.
Look at this movement here from Monkey Freedom Fighters. Coming straight into the dire jungle. They found these stacks that Loda and Nuts are taking. They're going to move in here with the snowball onto Loda. They're trying to chase it down, but it's just the 2 of them at the moment. Arise a little bit too far behind to help out, and maybe it's YapzOr that's in trouble. Still starting on with the fight, but now the plasma field comes in, and Arise with the static link as well. Moving in onto Loda, looking for the slaps onto Nuts here. It's a good link here, stolen a fair bit. 29 at the moment. Can he kill Nuts? No, he can't. Nuts is going to be able to get up the high ground. The shards don't even catch the IO. So neither Tiny or the IO dying there. Now Arise is going to be the one that plays like, but the IO wants back in! There were 3 other heroes going for the kill on Razor. There was no need for Nuts to go back in there, so he does end up losing his life.
That was greed.
A bit of a mess there, but they do get the Razor kill, but losing the IO not necessary there.
It wasn't necessary, but in the end, it is still worth it. Like, 1 for 1. Of course, it was a mistake, but sometimes you just got to roll with the punches, and I'm sure that Alliance aren't going to be too torn up about that one. The weird part was, I think S4 actually just walked casually all the way from top just to try to get there to stop what was going on because he didn't actually have a TP at the time, so. Still, the 2 highest farmers just continue to be singing, you know, Bulldog on the Doom. These 2 guys just getting pretty much everything they want here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of build Sing Sing goes for here. Do you think this is going to be kind of the phase drums Ember here, or does he go for the Battle Fury earlier on in his progress?
I think phase drums is really solid. Yeah. Like, their team can actually fight very well, and he's even maxing Searing Chains to help for the puck kill and also to help line up the AA blast once Wave 2 actually hits level 6. So between those 2 things, you can actually kill quite easily. And the thing is, you can't phase shift Searing Chains, so every time he does that to S4, you just take the damage. Like, you can't do anything about it. It's one of the reasons why Ember is actually... the heroes kind of counter each other.
Ooh, S4 uses the orb aggressively now. He will get the silence and the Dream Cock drops as well, but Yapzor's here on the Tusk, moves in with the snowball. S4 is trapped up. Can he do anything to turn this one around? He's got the phase shift, buys him some time, but he still dies. And a nice rotation there from Yapzor, and again, one of those windows where as soon as you send out that orb, Monkey Freedom Fire is going to be ready to jump back on.
Yeah, I mean, he even had a ward in the area, didn't he? Yeah, he did. It's interesting. Maybe he just wasn't assuming it to be so aggressive. But either way, very nice kill. And there's a Doom. Goodbye, Jimmy.
Yep, Jimmy's in a lot of trouble there down on the bottom lane. No backup here for the Slaughter. And that'll be the one cleaned up there by Bulldog on the Doom. So continuing to stay at the top of the board here in terms of net worth. 4.2k at the moment on the man. Top lane. You're going to see Loader and Nuts look for some kind of action here. They're looking for Sing Sing. He's going to throw the Remnant forward in. He's actually going to try and fight. With Yapko coming in the snowball. Nuts is going to get bursted down by the War Spurs. They get the Avalanche onto 2. They've actually managed to found the kill onto Yapzor on this Tusk. The Rise has turned up, trying to move in onto Loaded, trying to live with the static link. Steals 26. And looks like that will be that for the time being. Alliance are going to disengage, but they only lose the eye and they find themselves a pretty nice kill in return for of course, Loader on the Tiny.
I think they would have gotten more out of that on the side of Alliance had S4 not been forced to use his coil earlier. Like, it just came off cooldown now, so if they had it, I think they might have even been able to kill Sing on top of the Tusk, but a lot of rotations coming out now.
Oh, Demon! He wants to fight. There's 2 heroes here. Gets the double man crush and now turns to back himself out. Yapzor's coming in. They've got the vision here. They can get the shards just out of range at the moment. Bulldog, of course, pretty speedy. Ake as well. Not too slow on himself, but it is. Sing Sing turns up with 2-man Searing Chains. Ake will get the ult out. Bounce between the 2 of them. They'll be able to do the Delta split. No one's going to die for the ult. They've got the punch off Bulldog, but no one's actually died on the side of the lines. Now Ake goes down, but they lose Sing Sing in return. And now with a toss back on Sing Sing's dead body onto Jimmy, who falls as well. 2 for 1 for Alliance. They're going to try and look for more here. Loader moving in, chasing down Yapzor. Gets the toss off. Bulldog turns up with a very early skill in level death. And Yapzor will have the snowball. But there's an S4 puck here as well. There's no way that Tusk escapes, and that's going to be the 3rd kill there for Alliance. And really nice reactions there from the team.
Yeah, Alliance already just feeling like we shouldn't let them get anything more than they have out of the early game. Let's just continue to fight. We know we're going to have our coil up and ready to go if we need to actually drop it here. And Bulldog, you can see his item build. He's actually opted to go for a lot of extra armor.
Top lane. Demon looking for a free kill here. Has not got anything to tether to. Yes, he has. Will be able to get himself over a little bit, but Demon's going to continue to chase this. Nuts gets the spirits out. He's going to give it the old walk around, but the Crush is still going to find him. Demon will find himself the kill. There's going to be a TP in from S4, and Demon's got to run. Dreamcore's going to get dropped straight away here, and S4 going to look for the cleanup here. Misses the orb though. Demon just tries to turn, but the silence is there before he gets the Crush off. And S4 will get himself a solo kill, but now Yapzor might find the return here. Moving in, and now Sing Sing turning up as well. No escape for S4. They'll get the puck in return. Just a 1-1 there between both teams' solo laners.
A very scrappy game. A lot of kills going on, and this is prior to even the Ancient Apparition having ult up on the side of MFF. They're just abusing the fact that Ember's mobility and damage output during the early game is fantastic, and since Bulldog and Sing are not typically in the same place, you're just not really going to have to worry about Doom most of the time. So as long as the Slardar is keeping tabs on Bulldog, then you're not really having too hard of a time just fully committing to these fights if you're Sing, and I think that's actually helping them quite a bit.
Ooh, Alliance.
There's a blink on this Tiny.
All right. Okay, Yapzor might be in a bit of trouble here. Avalanche and a toss to the face. The backup's there. Does get off a snowball, but there's 4 heroes on the side of Alliance waiting to kill this Tusk, and they'll get it. Easy pick off there, and Bulldog's build here. Now, this is something that I don't see every day on the old Dooms. Armlet Doom.
I think it's kind of a way to make him a lot more effective in the team fights. You add onto that the Lich armor that they already have. And if he wants to, he can go take an Ice Ogre at some point. And they just have like billions of armor. So Armlet is like one of the most cost-effective items in the game for a strength hero in terms of how much damage it gives you.
Demon. Oh, loaded straight in onto the fish here. Demon will be able to get himself out. No! Taken down by Io there. There'll be a snowball from Yapzor, but there's 5 heroes here on the side of Alliance. Yapzor's got to try and get himself out. There's the Waning Rift onto him. The S4's tossed forward. Drops the Dream Cold. Doesn't catch anyone though. Yapzor's going to continue to run. Looks to hide in the tree line. Bulldog's chasing him down here. Yapzor with the jukes. Might just get himself out. Earns himself back alive. And a bit of a whiffed Dream Coil there from S4, meaning they won't find a kill out. That's a free kill onto Nuts here. Sing Sing picks that one up. There's going to be the Tether. Not going to save the little ball of light. A 1-for-1 there. Again, another bit of a scrappy engagement from both sides. It's been a bit of a messy game here, 13 minutes in.
Yeah, they just want to try to get map control as soon as humanly possible. I was kind of still thinking about the Armlet choice coming in from Bulldog. He does eventually eat the creep that gives you ice armor, so now he's got that at his disposal. But it's usually seen as kind of weird to buy Armlet against AA, because you can't toggle it. But he could just be buying it solely for the damage and the armor, which is still like pretty decent for the cost.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point, looking at the net worths of the...
Look at that armor, dude.
I mean, what, 17 armor at the moment on Doom? And
no,
a good 12
25 armor.
Oh, 25.
Yeah.
Whew. 14 minutes into
this is
a game.
just a hard Slardar counter. Like, that's what they're trying to do, is just make sure that their tanky heroes stay tanky.
S4. He's just moving in. Pushing back, Sting Sing. There's a snowball though, and again. Oh, he's going to be fine. Hang on.
He thought he was dead.
He's here. Beaver Knight turns back up and says, we need to get this kill, but now there's a Doom onto Sing Sing. Sing Sing on the retreat here with Yapzor. Bulldog trying to chase it down here. Look at the speed of this man going. The shards will buy some time for Sing Sing. He has, I believe, got a remnant out if he can live throughout the duration of this Doom. And there we go. He's just going to TP straight out for the tree line. They couldn't find him anyway. So, tanks to Doom does manage to get out, and they do get the kill onto S4 there. So, some nice play from Monkey Freedom Fighters.
Yeah, nice to not give anything away, and Doom being expanded is just more freedom for Sing to do what he wants. Kinda... I think the bots early are nice, but he is making himself very fragile. Like, he has a bracer in his inventory, and then he just goes straight for the Claymore. He's not going for drums, he's just going straight into Battle Fury. Could just be maybe the assumption that he sees the build that Bulldog went and goes, okay, fighting in the mid game is probably not going to be the best idea for us. Maybe I just want to try to go for more late game oriented style and just try to instantly kill Wisp when he relocates in by having like mass Battle Furies and Daedalus, but who knows.
Alright, that's the item that of course Alliance were waiting for, I'd imagine, before they try and look for the next engagement. Blink Dagger now picked up on S4. So we'll see what they go for here. Yeah, Doom now with that good old pack leader Zora. Extra damage here for Bulldog. The Doom back online in 25 seconds, and as you can see, Loader's farm, there's no stopping it at the moment. He's got the Blink Dagger, Ogre Club, and the Point Booster closing in onto that Aghanim Scepter as well. So some pretty good timings here for the team. We'll have to see what MFF have as kind of an answer to this amount of aggression. And Demon's going to get spotted out in the trees here. S4 finds him with the orb. Avalanche is going to miss here as Demon's able to juke it, but the toss is onto him. And Loader will be able to get himself yet another kill here. And I've got to be honest, Alliance, they might have had a bit of a tricky time in that early laning stage here for the Tiny Aya, but they've totally recovered from that, and at the top of the board at the moment, we can see that Tiny is the highest net worth hero at the moment.
Not really a shock. As soon as they get those 2 kills, like the recovery kills from Loda, like I mentioned, he had already pretty much brought himself all the way back from pretty much being same in terms of CS with the Rise in that middle lane for the first couple of minutes, and with the insane amount of armor they have, they're going to try to go for Rosh.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Looks like at the moment Monkey Freedom Fighters aren't going to be doing anything here to respond to this. They're just getting a bit of a push on the top lane, seeing Rise trying to do what he can against this tier 2. There's almost certainly going to be a free Rosh here for Alliance. Demon is coming in. The Ice Blast will follow through as well, but
good dodge.
Very nice dodge from Alliance.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, so does he want to do this? I don't think he does.
He wants to see how low it is.
Oh, S4 just says, nope, you're not jumping into the pit. Drops down the Dream Call onto Demon and Yapzor. Sing Sing won't find the chains onto S4 and the Roshan's down. Aegis is going to be picked up by Loader, and now they'll look to fight. Arise has been doomed up. Alliance trying to move in, and they're going to follow this through. I think they will do. Loader wants to blink forward. He's looking for the avalanche, and he'll find it onto 2 here. The snowball comes out. The crush as well from Jimmy. Jimmy slithers himself away. And Way 2 will TP out. Arise ticking low hits the Doom, but I think he'll be able to outlive it. Don't lose anyone here. And just to relocate. Where did he go?
Back to base.
Back to base. Okay,
Yeah.
just healing themselves back up.
All right.
But on the plus side for Monkey Freedom Fighters, they don't lose anyone here. Sing Sing wants to fight. And he's going to have to fight a Tiny and an IO combination. They've got an AO coming through as well, but Beaver Knight's incredibly low, but they get the kill onto IO. Now the bounce coming out with a Lich Ult between Demon and Sing Sing. They've got to get themselves out. Yapzor and Arise tried to fight this one, but there's the toss forward onto Bulldog, picks himself up a killing spree. Maybe it wasn't the play there to try and fight back into that relocating from IO.
Well, yeah, that was kind of weird, actually, because if somebody relocates to go for a kill, oftentimes you think they're going to be coming back with just the Wisp, or maybe, you know, at max it's going to be 2 heroes, but their relocate was actually to heal them back up. So maybe just not understanding fully what was going on there when he tried to go for the initiation, because otherwise, like, that team has Aegis. They're going to be fighting full HP with Tiny and the rest of Alliance. It was definitely a questionable fight, to say the least.
And of course, Demon with the double bracer build here, still a bit of time away from picking up a potential Blink Dagger. Only 700 gold here on the Slardar top lane. What's going on at the moment? We're seeing a bit of a chase down here. Sing Sing looking for S4. S4's just going to simply drop the coil.
Yeah, he missed his chains, unfortunately. He used them a bit too early. There was like a full creep wave, and he didn't have the positioning to catch S4. Otherwise, he would have died.
I guess the question is really, what does Bulldog go for now he's built the armlet? I mean, do you return to kind of a more standard Doom build, or do you think we could see anything else funky coming out from that?
I'm kind of wondering that myself. What is the best transition out of Armlet Blink? I mean, sure, Aghanims is still going to be fantastic. Just makes the ult last forever. If your whole purpose in life is to just be tanky and throw Dooms on people, that's always a great choice. You can go for Shivas if you want the mana pool, which Doom also kind of struggles with. You can go with Salt if you just want to make sure that, you know, Loda can go for something like Butterfly instead, or Moonshard, which is usually the more often bought item that we see nowadays. It's a lot of choices for him, really.
Yeah, and of course, talking about Loda, Ag's now finished here. There was a Midas picked up by AA, so we will start to see, of course, they're able to make their way towards their Aghanims here on Way 2, eventually. Still just sitting at level 7, though, 20 minutes in. It's certainly a poor AA. He's got a bit of catching up to do so, but if they can prolong the length of this game, they'll get to that point eventually. Arise has picked up the Sanj. Imagine it's going to be the SMY on Razor. We're going to see him find Nuts here. Nuts will tether himself across. Ice Blast will get the pass over. No, it looks like, yeah, he did hit onto Nuts. But they got the follow-up. They have got Sing Sing moving in. They'll look for the kill onto Iron. They should be able to find it. He's got the Ice Blast here on him. But there's a turnaround. There's a Dream Coil onto 2. Yapzor's getting incredibly low. Arise is in trouble as AK and Loader focus him down. Now with the Snowball Fort on S4, they might be able to find the puck in return. They do. That's a big kill. Double kill for Sing Sing. But Loader's just here with a cleanup. He's found himself the kill onto 1. At the same time, Bulldog cleans up Demon on the Slardar. Sing Sing's going to look for the TP out, and he will find it. Bit of a messy fight once again. I mean, Monkey Freedom Fighters do find themselves the S4 puck, quite a high value kill at this point, but well, they lose 2 of their cores here, and of course the Tusk as well, so not too ideal. And it's going to be the straight up Vlads here now for Bulldog.
That one's really nice because it synergizes well with the Tiny. Core space damage increase is going to be great. You already have the Pack Leader Zora on top of that, so you're getting the 45% increased damage, which is insane. I really like I said, in a lot of games, Armlet is not always seen as like a go-to item against Ancient Apparition, but in this game, that in conjunction with having the max ice armor on Ake already, like he didn't even max Nuke.
Oh, Bulldog straight away with the blink out, the Scorched Earth as well. It's going to be hard for them to chase. This Demon is closing the gap here with the sprint. And they have got Sing Sing moving in as well. Bulldog turns the armlet on, he's got S4 now, here comes the relocating Loader and Nuts turning up to the party. They'll take down Jimmy here. There's a static link from Arise, stealing a fair bit here from Loader. S4 drops the Dream Coil, but Loader's already lost a fair bit of damage. Arise takes the Dream Coil stun to the face here. Searing Chains will follow up onto S4, but he's able to jaunt himself out with the orbit. Doesn't matter. Still goes down. It's a mega kill streak here for Sing Sing. They managed to pop the Aegis here as well. This is a really good fight for Monkey Freedom Fighters. Can they find anything more here? Loader gets the avalanche onto Arise, but now with the snowball moving in, Sing Sing's sticking about with the sleight of fist. Loader getting low, but Ake's still there. It's now going to be Arise that loses his life. There's an ice blast into the face of Ake. Bulldog forcing back Yapzor on Way 2. Sing Sing's still sitting in the middle of it all with the sleight of fist. Will TP himself back to base as he's out of mana. Bulldog just simply drops the Doom onto Yapzor, looking for an easy kill, but they're going to be looking for the deny potential. Can Yapzor find it? Yes, he can. Does manage to deny himself there to the neutrals. AA will go down, though. And another bit of a crazy fight there. It looked good for kind of Monkey Freedom Fighters halfway through. And oh, they can't lose. If they lose Sing Sing as well, this is not going to be the dream here for MFF. Going to be able to get himself over, but Ake's there looking for the Frost Blast. Now still got the other well, Jimmy's turned up as a fight. They just get a crush onto 2, but Loader blinks forward with the Avalanche Toss combo. Sing Sing's going to get taken down as Ake hits a killing spree on the Lich. And well, the long fight, Alliance do end up coming out on top of that one for sure, and it's 21 for 15 on the board.
They're just toying with
Bulldog and Loader getting further and further ahead. Bulldog incredibly low here, but he's got the armlet toggling. Demon realizes he probably doesn't want to go for that one. There's also backup coming in from Alliance. Demon could be in trouble. Loader blinks forward, looks for the Avalanche. Won't find it as Demon jukes it down to the tree line, but there's 4 heroes here. Nuts is tossed forward. He will get the crush out, but Bulldog moving in, bringing Demon low, and Demon's going to go down. There's going to be an Ice Blast coming in. Will connect to Nuts. Nuts might be in trouble. Yapso snowballed in for this one, but now he's got to get himself out. Loader tossing forward Bulldog here. They'll get the level death onto Yapso, and Yapso will fall, but not before taking down Bulldog here on the Doom.
That was a 1,000 gold Doom kill, man. He's rich.
It's a lot of
Actually,
money
almost
for the
1,100. I thought he was gonna punch mine as soon as he went in, but I think he got glimmered by Ake as soon as the snowball came out. So very nice play coming in from the Lich. And this max ice armor build coming in is doing so much work. Like even with Amplify on, Bulldog still had 12 armor. Like that doesn't sound like a ton considering how many armor items he's built, but it's really just keeping yourself above like 10-ish armor makes you just so much more tanky as opposed to being in the negative. So you're not taking like pure damage from auto attacks at that point. I really like the way that Alliance have skilled and played this.
Ooh, Sing Sing wants to find himself an S4 kill. He's still got the Searing Chains and he'll get them down onto S4. S4 will use the Orb to jaunt away, but damage over time. Taking him alone, the sleight of fist there from Sing Sing, finishing off S4 on the puck. I mean, Sing Sing at the moment, he's having a pretty good game. 7 kills, only died the 2 times, 5 assists. Now sitting on 1,400 gold on top of the Battle Fury Boots of Travel. So, I mean, he is certainly the hero that the side of Alliance need to be the most worried about, as we can see. 10k at the moment, 4k higher than his partner, Arise on the Razor. But overall, as we can see, Alliance with the dominating lead. A lot of this, I feel, is going to be down to what Sing Sing can achieve on that Ember Spirit.
He's been playing a great game, though. You're definitely on point with that. He has had, what, 2 deaths up to this point, which is not too bad. He's just trying to do a lot with not a lot of farm, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like, Battle Fury and bots at this stage in the game, considering the start that his team had, like, he had the best lane. He was up there against the solo S4 puck, and he was also having support, so he's the one you kind of have to look to be like, all right, we need you to make some big plays. And he's done his fair share, I would say, up until now. But you have to also consider MFF can still win teamfights even being at a farm disadvantage just based on the fact that if the AA ult lands and you get like a nice plasma field, a sleight of fist or 2, and a Searing Chains, that's already a significant chunk of damage, and you can kill supports with that. And if the Wisp is gone and the Ice Armor is gone, then your Slider becomes more effective and you can try to take a fight from there.
I mean, how's Way 2 doing on his Rotiags? Has he picked up any part of it yet on top of the minus new? Not yet. There's still quite a way here to go for the old ice cream kind. But once he does get that, as you said, it's going to be pretty scary for Alliance. Especially when they're trying to push up onto high ground against what MFF have. Loader's going to be able to pick up some Ancients here. And with 1,300 gone back. What's he got in the courier as well? Has picked up the plate mail. Okay, he's got everything bar the Hyperstone. So just 400 gold away from picking up the completed AC.
Now that's going to be huge. So they have AC, they're going to have Vlads, they have Ice Armor. And the Slardar is still not level 11, I believe. Yeah, Jimmy is still around 500 experience away. So level 2 Amplify increases its effectiveness pretty much by 50%, and he's going to need that if they want to chunk through these really beefy heroes on the side of Alliance. And the smoke...
I mean, this is the play, really, isn't it? They've got to find these pickoffs. And yeah, they were hoping maybe for S4 on the top lane, as he's been playing quite aggressively in terms of going out with the farm. We've seen him have a few altercations with Sing Sing. But they're not going to find him up there. Alliance themselves are going to smoke up in the mid lane. They're going to leave Loader revealed here on the Tiny, trying to draw in the attention from FF back towards the mid lane. Looks like they won't get it. There's a DD here as well. I mean, if Loader grabs this one, they've got the relocate. It's not going to be pretty. They even given the bottle here. Make sure that he can save onto that DD for a rainy day. Roshan's even coming back up as well. I mean, if Alliance just go and look for Rosh at this point, get the Aegis. It's not going to be great for Monkey Freedom Fighters in the next fight, to say the least. Monkey Freedom Fighters, though, they're just going to use the fact that they're all up here, take this tier 2. Alliance will probably look for their own here. Blink, of course, on Sing Sing.
They need to play off of their AA, like, very heavily. even though his ult's only level 1, it's a huge amount of damage that they're missing out in the fights. I even think at this point, having a point and a chilling touch on them too can be massively helpful, considering just the massive amount of armor that the team has bought. And here comes the DD. Dear God, you need to get here. They do not have glyph.
Look at this.
They don't have glyph. That's 3 hits.
This is not pretty for the Radiant. They've got to do something about this. The Ice Blast is going to hit onto Loader. Have they got the follow-up? Snowball forward. Sing getting the change up onto 2 here. Maybe they relocate out. They've saved Loader now. A lovely chain frost. Well, not that nice actually. Bounces between 2 of them. They drop the Dream Coil as well, so they do manage to keep Loader out of that one. Question is, do they bring him back in? Let's have a look. No. They say, nuts, you're taking this one for the team. They'll throw away the IF. But even Mr. Singsong diving in deep for that one, and a grip from Bulldog finds the kill. They do lose the Doom in return. Okay, they're going to go for the TP out. Do they have any vision? No, they do not. Be able to get himself away. So, okay, so they lose Sing Sing. They get Bulldog. And they also get Nuts as well. But they do lose their axe. Because that
Double
Tiny punched
Tiny.
pretty hard.
Well, it wasn't just double damage either, right? Like, it was double damage, it was AC, it was Pack Leader Zora, it was Vlad's damage, like... And he had overcharge as well. That is one of the beefiest Tinies that you're ever going to run into, so... Yeah, you gotta be real careful about stuff like that. Although, I'm pretty sure that MFF didn't know he had a double damage until he got to their base. Because they don't have any vision really anywhere around the rune side and bottom. So it's entirely possible that they just didn't know.
I mean, this is scary. We've already talked about how obviously Sing Sing's having a good game so far for his team.
Yep.
You got to look at Loader's stats, because I think Loader at the moment, he only died literally that once in the lane at the start. Now he's got 8 kills, 11 assists. And obviously a lot of this is down to the fact that Nuts has been playing really nicely on the eye. There's been some massive relocates, getting the Tiny into the fights and out of the fights as well.
Yeah, he's been the martyr.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the job of the Wisp. It's like, alright, I'll bail you out whenever you make a bad choice, and I will take like the 1 in 15 KDA just to make sure that we win. And that's pretty much been the go-to for him this game. But
I mean, Demon at the moment, 1700 gold onto the Overclock. Does he have to get the BKB? Or is he going to be able to... Will he get the Blink if he's got the money?
Okay, so now BKB is not even going to be that good for him, because Aghanim's is finished on S4. So.
Oh, dear.
The thing about this lineup is, a lot of lineups have a hard time finishing the game, because Puck is seen as a very mid-game focused hero. Like, he takes mid normally, right? And then you farm for Blink, and then you try to fight based off that. But because of his supporting cast in this game, like having the Tiny and the Doom, 2 amazing frontliners who can also base siege, just having the Aghanims and Blink is enough. He doesn't need anything else, because Razor doesn't have an escape from the coil, neither does the Slardar, neither does the AA, so all 3 of those heroes pretty much just die to a coil stun.
It's going to be a hard fight for MFF, but maybe with the power of Sing Song, they can pull through. Talking about Sing Sing, how's he doing on top of the Blink? 1400 gold. I mean, at this point, he's just looking to get the crit on the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, he got Blink to try to go for the better positioning, which I do agree that it's very nice. But if your Sleight of Fist doesn't deal any damage to the enemy heroes, and like no matter how good your positioning is, it's pointless, right? Like that's the way that I see it. Is right now he just needs damage. If he doesn't have like a full Daedalus by the time they come knocking on high ground again, they're gonna have issues. And even with that, again, just because of the mass armor that they have, it is very, very difficult for MFF at this point.
Radiant's top.
Loader wants to find himself Yepsor, but Yepsor's gonna put on his fabulous gunner cape and get himself out. They'll look at the tier 2 Air Alliance, and of course, I'd imagine they'll stick around for a fight. Let's see if they're ready to go for it. And look for a second set of racks here on the top lane for the side of the fighters. Yeah, Loader just heads up for the high ground. Starts to pound away at the tier 3. Not as quickly as he was, of course, when he had the DD, but still at a pretty impressive rate. And Bulldog just jumps safe. He's got the Doom onto Ember. Sing Sing's got to get himself out of the fight. Arise frontlines it for a bit, takes away 150 damage from Loader. Well, he might have stolen the physical damage, but he hasn't stolen on the magical there from the 1-2 combo. And Arise, just gets saved there by the snowball pickup. Demon getting a nice 3-man crush. The Ice Blast will follow through. The Bulldog pops the BKB here, will walk himself out. But even Knight has to get himself away because Loader is still hitting pretty damn hard. And they just can't stop Alliance from hitting the racks. They've got a fortification. Sing Sing trying to do what he can, but he just hasn't got the damage at the moment. Demon now gets a crush onto Loader. Loader now losing damage once again, but S4 blinks forward. Gets the Radiant Rift onto Demon. Demon's going to go down to the balls there of my nuts. And now Loader will take a snowball to the face, but he's got the Aegis. He's going to be back for round 2. Arise coming out very aggressively, but Bulldog just appears with the right clicks. The orb flying through the face of the Razor. Look at the toss onto Yap, so he tries to get himself back up to the high ground. Will be able to escape, but they've lost half of the racks here on the top lane. There's been a buyback from Arise. And Alliance, they're going to give a bit of mercy for the time being. They don't want to try and force another fight yet. They're happy with what they've found from that one so far.
They got the important racks.
Yeah.
That's really all that matters. They got the melee. They forced them to use Glyph again as well.
S4. Sing Sing, he'd love to find this kill. He's not. Oh, nice juke there. Dodges the avalanche. Can't dodge everything else, though, unfortunately, there for the Ember Spirit.
Hit by a giant tree. Not the greatest feeling in the world. And there's the GG. They realize it's like it's too difficult to get through them. So I really. So the Lich was picked first, right? They picked Lich Doom, I believe, in their first 2 picks. And when they did that, the first thing I thought of was, okay, well, they're going to need some minus armor. And I really liked their answer for it, which was just in the form of Slardar. It's just the problem of their team got so far ahead during the mid-game. Ake's skill build maxing ice armor, only getting 1 point into Frost Blast. Just those things alone, and the way that Bulldog built himself too, to make sure that he could be that frontliner that Alliance actually needed at the time, just making like these small cost-efficient items like having Armlet, having Vlad's out,